everyone. Welcome to the Paper Joy. Thank you for clicking on this video today. Today I'm going to be discussing some different ideas that I have for myself. I made a list of some different things to think about to use my monthly calendar pages heading into 2025. I'm also getting over a cold like it seems so many people are, so please excuse my maybe robot voice today. But so our monthly spreads, we all use these layouts in our own way. I typically have used them in the past for date specific things. But honestly, I don't live an overly busy life, and that's by choice. So I wanted to think of some different ways that I could utilize the monthly spreads as I use my daily planner. So my daily personal planner is more of a memory keeper and life tracker. So I wanted to start using things in here for the monthly spread that just were fun yet functional. So because these are more kind of memory keeper ideas or life tracker ideas, they may not be the most time date functional things, but still functional for daily life things that I want to track, that I want to remember, and really just some things to have fun with for these pages. So yeah, let's get started. I am using a common planner spread here. I have I'm using an old December spread here, and of course the size of your planner will determine how much space you have to write, whether you have any spaces or room around the borders to use as well. So I'm just going to go through these one by one. I have some things for the sidebar too. So hopefully Zoom will be my friend today. There we go. I do want to get in a little closer on these. So let's start with day one. This is a location and weather tracker. So I thought this would be really fun for myself. My husband and I and our family are planning on in the near future, some extended travel abroad. And one of the places we want to visit is Portugal. So we will probably be over there when it's still a little cold outside. So I thought it would be nice to see and track the temperatures and the weather over there in contrast to what we have locally here in the Midwest. So I have a couple locations here from the central part of the country, and then in the northern part of the country, the temperature varies, from north to south there. So I thought it would just be nice to see what the weather patterns are compared to home. Idea number two. So this is something that I already do in my monthly spread. I do when I start a book, I write when I start a book, and then when I finish a book. And then I want to start rating the book when I finish it in here as well. I have my Essentialism book here. This is the first book I read in January of this year, which really kickstarted my reading habits and my reading goals for the year. So if I can recommend a book, this one is a great one. Another idea is a TBR. So maybe you see something, you just want to write it down quickly of a book you want to read. So you could use your monthly spread for something like that. The next idea I have, number 5, and I'm just going by the days of the month here, is a work tracker. This is also something that I already do. I keep this now in my weekly spreads, but this actually could be really good for the monthly spread as well, so you can get kind of a monthly overview of this. But this is a mood feels tracker for me. I just came up with this little kind of graph, and I just dotted out to, if you're just having a neutral day, you're having a fine day, if you're down here, you're probably having a pretty bad day. And you can just kind of write, a little quick note of what happened at work that day to make you feel, good, bad, or indifferent. So I've been doing the work tracker for a while now. Idea 6, daily physical feeling tracker. So how you feel when you wake up, how you feel throughout the day. Maybe you are getting over something that you want to kind of track, an injury, or if you're someone like me, I have chronic kind of neck and shoulder issues. It's something that I manage with physical therapy and lots of stretching. So, tracking that. So if you wake up feeling good, okay, if you have a headache for the day, or if you just feel ick, just tracking kind of your physical feeling over the course of a month. Number 7 and 8 are pretty similar, just depending on how you like to track things. So for your mood tracker, if you're more of a scale tracker and you just want to, circle a number, or if you are a doodler, which I am not really, you can do some faces to track your mood as well. Idea number 9. So 9 and 10 are similar as well. As we're coming into the colder months, there is SAD, so that's seasonal affective disorder. And, this is a real thing. People deal with this, people manage it. But it goes along kind of with colder weather and cloudy days and gray days. And so just taking track of how you're feeling for the day, and also making note of, how the weather is outside. So, is it snowy? Is it rainy? Is it just cloudy and gray? Maybe you have a day where there's, blue sky and sun, which those are always helpful over winter for me. But this is just more of a feels tracker again. If you are kind of managing, some seasonal things. A SAD lamp. So I do have one of these box lamps that I use, and I have used for a couple years now. I typically use it in the morning, first thing. It varies between, 15 to 30 minutes. But just keeping track of that usage and then noting whether or not it helps or improves your mood. I have fortunately noticed in using the lamp that it does help. So SAD lamps, they actually work. Another idea is word of the day. So there are plenty of dictionary apps out there that will send you a word of the day. When I was putting this together, I looked at Merriam-Webster on this day, and the word was delectation. I didn't know what that word meant. So, I looked up the definition, and it is a formal word for delight or enjoyment. So pretty cool word. And then if it is a word that you're not familiar with, or if it's just a word that kind of strikes you on that particular day, then that word could potentially also turn into a journal prompt for you for the day, or for upcoming. This next one is second language word of the day. And this is something I wanted to start doing next year. So I have been studying and trying to learn Italian for several years now. Off and on, I am nowhere near fluent. So I just thought I would kind of get back to basics with it. For all the studying that I've done, there still are some things that stick, and that's where the consistency comes in. For something like this, if you're not consistent, you're just not going to pick it up. But just getting back to very general things with it, next month, just writing things down on a daily basis. So, start with putting down the month, for the month. So Dicembre, Gennaio, so December and January. And I thought this could actually work really well for the monthly spread, and just putting the number of the day. So 12 for 12 and 13 for 13. And just doing that throughout the whole month, maybe even writing the day of the week in here in the second language, and not just doing it for 1 month, but doing it for, multiple months. So you can come back and see this as I plan to be in the monthly spreads more often and tracking new things. So you see that word, in the second language more often. I just colored in my green flag here. Didn't do that very well. And the outline. But that is something I'm looking forward to for next year. Into some more health tracking things. So your physical activity, and I actually track these things in my wellness planner. So I use the monthly spread to track my physical activity every day. Whatever I do, whether it's a walk, if it's yoga, strength training, whatever that is, and the time that I do it. I put spin class and session number on here. When I was going to a place to take spin classes, I used to have to buy my packages or classes in packages. And there is, a certain number of classes that you get. And where I was going, you also had to use those classes in a certain timeline. So this could be a way to keep track of, what class it is, and then, how long you have to use those classes up. Also a daily step counter, whatever your daily step goal may be for the day. You can keep track of that in your monthly spread for a nice overview. And then if you reach your daily step goal, give yourself a star, do something to celebrate that win, because all small wins count. Water intake. So whatever your daily water intake goal is for the day, mine is 50 ounces. Sometimes I do really great with that, other times not. But writing down what your daily intake is, and then if you go over, write that down as well and celebrate that win too. On to number 16. Yes, here I am. So this is another kind of TBR idea, but this is more for, say, an article that you saw that you want to go back and read. Something that you can, write it down, write the name of the article down, write down maybe the site that it's on. That way you don't have to keep so many tabs open. This is something I am reading about in my minimalist book. There's like a whole section on close down tabs. So seeing something that you want to, reference back or refer to later, write the name down, write the site down, and then when you're coming back and looking at your monthly spread, you can see, oh, hey, I saw that article. I want to go back and look at that still. Idea number 17, a monthly word. So I thought this is something kind of motivating to maybe try next year. This is maybe a work in progress, but I'm thinking for January, the word focus for myself, without putting too much pressure on myself and still trying to recharge and reset a little bit. But giving yourself a monthly word just to for your tasks or whatever you have planned for the month, and then that is something I can potentially use as a journal prompt too throughout the month. Idea 18, monthly goals. So you can put this anywhere, probably on your spread. Maybe you want to put it on day one, for your monthly goals for the month. But I just have a couple examples here for myself. So I want to declutter our hall closet and then start clearing out some buffet drawers that we have to try and get rid of things and downsize some things. And then beyond your monthly goal, then you can have a daily progress or a daily win. So again, motivating factors for you to have for yourself throughout the month. So I did organize my hall closet, yay. And then I also made a trip to donate some stuff, to get some things out of the house. So those are all wins, and that is progress in my quest to have some more minimalist ideas in our life. These next ones are really fun for me and things that I have just gotten into, fairly recently. But with the astrological things and the moon phases that I have been journaling on, things that I read and kind of newsletters that I see. So there are kind of moon themes. So around the new moon, if you follow these things and what I do, just kind of track, what season you're in for the new moon, and then any themes around that new moon that stand out to you, that resonate with you, that you can make note of and think about over that period of the new moon. Also, some astrological season markers. So for December, this is a December spread. We had winter solstice this month, which marked Capricorn season. So making note of that on your monthly spread, and then some themes around that season as well. So reflection and preparation. Those were a couple things for Capricorn season that resonated with me. So full moon as well. So full moon in Gemini, what season it's in, and then again, some themes around that. And as you're doing this, you're going to have, a couple weeks in between each thing. So you'll have, whatever theme you have or that resonates with you for that particular moon, carry that for the couple weeks, through kind of the waxing period. And then once you hit the full moon, what looks good, as you're coming into the waning period, and getting to the end of the moon cycle. On to idea number 23, daily mindful minutes tracker. This is another new one for me, something I am thinking about taking more track of. So whether that is meditation for you, or potentially just sitting by yourself, just having some quiet time, that all counts for mindful minutes. I could also do some crystal intentions that I am working on and doing more of now too. So I thought that would be a good thing to start to keep track of, just those daily mindful minutes that you give to yourself, just to be present, just to stay present in your life and take note of things. On to some spending tracking. So this could totally be a month of a spending log in general. Everything that you spend, or you could just do it for more discretionary kind of spending, however you wanted to track this out. But you can use your daily day or your daily calendar notes as a spend or no spend day. And maybe like I said, it could be for, specifically for stationary spending, or, your kind of shop or coffee shop, coffee, whatever that might be. Something new, I've seen this and I thought this was, kind of a good idea, just to keep track of things that I'm watching, doing a new show kind of review. I did just finish a couple Netflix shows, so I have those written down here, and then just a quick rate, whether or not you cared for it or not. This could also be a good spread for a side job that you may be tracking, or your side hustle, part-time job, whatever that is. You can put the name of where you worked and how many hours it is, or however you track that. But just to keep kind of a monthly overview of the time you're spending and the time you're giving to that part-time job or side hustle or whatever it is you may be working on. Also a volunteer tracker. So I do volunteer regularly with an organization, and I thought it would be good to start tracking just how many hours a week that I do that. So some weeks it's a lot depending on the season, and other times, it's not much at all. So that varies over the course of a year. So I thought that might be something to keep track of, my volunteer work. So I have name, activity, and then the hours potentially spent doing that. Therapy sessions. This is another way to keep track of that, whether or not you do that once a week, or a couple times a month. Some health insurance companies help cover therapy sessions, as they should, in my opinion, but they also only maybe cover so many. So if that's the case, then you can also keep track of what number session it is, so you know what costs are being helped with, and then what may be there for you to pay on your own. Another idea, number 29. So a new recipe. I haven't been keeping track of this, and I thought it would be a good idea to do so. So when I actually try a new recipe, which I want to start doing more of next year, write it down and then rate it or grade it. So we recently had this new white bean and chicken soup. It was excellent, so I definitely want to make that again. I'm pretty sure I saved it. I hope so. But as long as it's written down somewhere, then I'll come back and see it and remember, it's like, hey, that's a recipe that I made and I liked and I want to make again. And if it's not something you want to make again, you'll know that too. Coming into the last couple here, so I have idea 30, to keep track of any type of hobby classes that you may be going to. I have my creative writing group that I've been to. It's not something that I'm able to do very often, but when I do go, I think it would be nice to keep track of that. And then, excuse me, the last one I have here is a national monthly event day. And I just thought this was really fun. I've looked at these before, and I just think it's neat to see just so many things that there is actually a national event day for. So just a couple things upcoming in January. There's on January 4th, there is Spaghetti Day. On January 16th, there is Nothing Day, which sounds great. It's probably on a weekday, so that's not going to count. But January 23rd, Handwriting Day. January 24th, Library Shelfie Day. I thought that one sounded fun. And then January 27th is Chocolate Cake Day, which is awesome. Not that I need an excuse to make chocolate cake, but I will take one. And that is all of the days or potential ideas for a calendar spread for the days. And I have a few things in kind of the sidebar and extra space around the page. So I have been doing kind of a monthly quote. So I usually leave room for that. So here is a book or a quote from one of my favorite books, Essentialism. Done is better than perfect. That is another motivating thing. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just get it done. You can also use the sidebar, and these are things that I do. So like monthly highlights or to-dos. In January, I have a couple books that I'm hoping to start and finish, or at least finish one of them. The Let Them Theory and How Children Fail. And then I have written down here, which is decide to stay or be done with my job. So that is something I've been managing for quite a while now, and I think that may be coming to some kind of conclusion next year. We'll see. Early next year, we'll see. But that is a TBD for myself. Reminders. I do this as well. I already do this. So just things that don't necessarily have a due date, but there's things that you want to get done. You probably may need to get done. But you can just kind of put that on here so you can see it as a reminder, like you need to finish this task. I had passport renewals on my weekly spread for 4 weeks, and I finally got that done. But it's nice to, just see it just as to keep remembering it. And then also totals. So all the things that, you could potentially be tracking. If you're using it as a wellness tracker, you can do monthly totals for like how many days you got out for your walk, or, wherever you walk, a treadmill, how many days you did your strength training, how many days you met your step goal. So, just your total wellness numbers for the month. Also, if you're using it as budget log or spending log, you could do like a total monthly overall spend, and then maybe you want to break it out into how much money you're spending specifically on like stationary items, or coffee, or whatever that might be. So it's a good space around some of the open space for monthly totals. And then if you're not using that on the sidebar, you could also, if you have some extra blank days, you could do it in that space as well. And then the last thing I have on here is my monthly sleep tracker. And this is something I started doing a couple months ago. I do like this. It just lets me see over the course of a month, what my sleeping scale is, and whether or not it's consistent or steady at all, or pretty erratic. And unfortunately right now mine is pretty erratic, but hopefully I get that line a little more steady. So it's nice to see that full month line from that. And yeah, that is some ideas for the monthly spread. And I just wanted to do something different for 2025. I wanted to utilize these pages a little bit better. I think I've given myself a good starting list of different things to track, and I hope maybe one of these resonated with you and something different for you to track. And I'm so looking forward to getting into 2025. This will be my first year starting with all new planners and ideas and things to do. So it is approaching very fast. So thank you for sticking around and joining me for this. And I hope to see you in the next video. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.